Filipinos are known for having some very unique, and some might say unusual first names and nicknames. For example, my name is John Paulo, but most people call me GP. It's easy to see how I got my nickname. It's just the first two letters of John and Paulo. For some other Filipinos, the story behind their nicknames isn't so straightforward.
So my full name is Mary Ruth. When I was a baby, my cousins would call me Baby Ruth, like the chocolate, because they sound alike. And then my mom decided, you know what, let's change it to MM, like the nickname instead of Baby Ruth, let's change it to MM so it will still be chocolate. And that's how I got MM.
My full name is Annabel Vega, but then my nickname is Ganggim. And it came from Palanggangim, which came from the word palangga. So palangga means love in Cebuano.
My full name is Alexandra Lily Ivana Herrera Patargig. I'm called Ali. That's an acronym for Alexandra Lily and Ivana, ALI.
So why are our names so unique? Some of the answers to that question can be found in Filipino culture and the country's colonial history. Let's start with first names. One of the most popular naming traditions in the Philippines has to do with honoring your parents and your family lineage.
Marital union is taken seriously in the Philippines to the point that they'd like to honor that marital union by naming the children or one of the children after the names of the couple who got married. You would really find it surprising that some of these unique names are actually a concoction or combination of the first or any order of syllable from the names of their parents.
So my name is Florita Padilla. My name is a combination of my parents. So the first four letters are from my dad. His name is Florentino. And the last four are from my mom, so Clarita. So together, Florita.
For many Filipinos, their legal first name isn't usually the one they use in their day-to-day lives. Baby, June, and boy are all common Filipino nicknames, and it can sound a little unusual, especially when you hear them mentioned across different families.
I have an Uncle Boy, I have an Uncle June and a Kuya June. I have an Auntie Baby.
Nicknames are a way to identify people with a sense of endearment and familiarity. So it's very common for Filipino fathers to name their one of their sons Junior. Junior might become June, then an endearment would be Junjun, and from Junjun becomes Junji, or Junjing, or Jingjing, or Jing, right? And the repetition of syllables in Philippine naming practices is really a sign of cuteness as well as endearment.
Many of the surnames Filipinos have today can be traced back to one of the most influential laws in the country's colonial history, the Claveria Decree. This provided a list of 61,000 surnames, the majority of them Hispanic, that every Filipino family would have to choose under Spanish rule, mainly for tax, census, and religious purposes. The document would define the names of Filipinos for generations, while leaving behind many of the country's diverse indigenous surnames.
Part of the reason why the Spaniards wanted to systematize the registry of surnames is because the indigenous practice of siblings in the Philippines was to adopt different surnames for each sibling. So every sibling can adopt the surname that they wanted, again based on different characteristics, right? Like Maambong, which means graceful, or a debonair, which is originally from the Visayan, or Mababang Loob, which means humble in Tagalog, or Mabanglo, which means sweet-smelling. And so for colonial administrators, it's going to be a nightmare, right? If they know you come from the same family, but you're adopting different names based on your personal preference. And so with the Claveria Decree, the 61,000 surnames would now be the basis from which the eldest member of the family can choose what is the surname for their clan. And so many Filipinos chose religious surnames. So you have so many De La Cruz from the cross, De Jesus from Jesus, Del Rosario from the rosary. Even my own ancestors chose the name Angeles, which means angels.
The bottom line is Filipino names have centuries of culture and history written into them. Some might say our names are a little unconventional, but most would probably tell you they reflect the spirit of creativity that defines Filipino culture. For CBC News, I'm John Paulo, or, depending on who you ask, GP Mendoza.